Next one, sticking hands, the week 2 one. Okay, so we just spent a whole module on sticking hands before, so we're not going to spend too long on this. This is just to explain it to people when they start. I just read over what I wrote and I was like, shit, that sounds pretty good. No, I was like, fuck, I couldn't think of that on the spot. That's why I'm like, shit, lucky I wrote it down. So sticky hands is a unique Wing Chun practice which develops subconscious reflex, sensitivity, calm centeredness under pressure, spontaneous fighting technique, connection to and domination of an opponent, intelligent tracking and placing of mass, and the ability to read an opponent or read opponents. It does this all by continuous contact and rolling against the constant threat of attack on both the balance, center line, and vulnerable attacking points of the body. Now, if we break that down, we're just going to look at each piece from that first paragraph, right? It talks about the developing of subconscious reflex. Now, the way it does that, it does it by touches, you know, the whole analogy of futsal, right? So the Brazilians got better at soccer because they were playing futsal. They got a lot more touches. So because when you're doing, first you do looks out, as we know, but once you start doing a lot more sticking hands and you start doing all the sparring work, you get so used to all the different movements of a human body that helps you develop the subconscious reflexes for fighting, because you're so used to how a human's body can move in certain positions so that you know what to do when you make contact. So it develops the subconscious reflex from the amount of touches you get, because you're so many times working on striking, blocking, connecting constantly. So you develop the reflexes from a subconscious level so that when someone does come in to throw any strike towards you, you naturally see how the arms naturally know where to cover. So if he's coming to attack, naturally my arms know where they need to be to cover his arms. So I'm not thinking, so if you're coming really slowly, I'm not thinking, okay, first I must puck out this point here, and then I've got to fook out cover that so I can strike. It just happens. So as he comes at me, I just go towards him. It just happens. I cover naturally, yeah? So that I can control and strike. Yeah? Make sense? So it becomes subconscious because of the amount of touches you get, and the amount, because you're doing it so much, it just comes out naturally. Your arms become kind of like antennas. So if I borrow, we can stay here like this. So it's like, because you're aiming towards their center, right? And if Marcus moves towards me slowly in any angle, it's like, so with his arm, he's coming through to reach towards me. My arm, no, okay, I need to cover this, because it's going to hit me if I don't. And then he throws another strike from some angle. I need to cover this, otherwise I'm going to get hit. So your arms start to know naturally, again, I need to cover this, yeah? Subconsciously, what angle they need to cover in order to protect you, and also in order to offset their balance and hit them as well. What's that? Bong Sao.
They come around and you just go.
And knock their head off, yeah. I like it. I like the Bong Sao is awesome. I love it. So it develops subconscious reflex. Another thing that it develops is sensitivity. So when you're in contact with a person so much, you know, maybe we'll stand up because it's actually how we do it. When you're in contact with a person so much, you become sensitive of the different directions and angles they're taking. So you can actually start to just consciously do what you want, you know? So if I feel that, for example, Marcus might be pushing a little bit too much to the left, right? Now from here, I can feel that and I can take him there, yeah? Because I can feel, I'm sensitive to that. So you develop sensitivity from, once again, being in contact so much. Not only are you sensitive now of the directionality of the person's force, you're sensitive to what's going on in their body. So let's say I can feel some tension in Marcus's hips, I can attack that, yeah? Because you're sensitive to what's going on inside their body. So you can attack tension here and there. So you can use that to your advantage. So not only is it sensitivity of directionality, it's sensitivity of tension in their body that you can utilize to control them, yeah? So the sensitivity of direction, the sensitivity of what's going on in their body, but also there's like a sensitivity, it's almost like a sixth sense that you can kind of feel because you're used to being with so many different people up close, rolling with them, you start to be able to feel what people are feeling. And for me, that's because you're sensitive to the sensing energy, meaning you're sensing space. We all do it subconsciously anyway. You know how you can just sense a person's mood? You know what I mean? You can sense their condition. The more you train this practice, the more you'll just notice that in general. Because They're a human, you're a human. They have space, you have space. They have emotion, you have emotion. Guess what? Apart from picking it up through body language, you can just sense into them. So it develops your sensitivity on an emotional and mental level as well. Actually, funny, we asked Sigung once, oh, do you know how people are feeling? He's like, yeah. And everyone was like, whoa, Sigung's psychic. You know, he knows what we think and feel. I better not think about that. But yeah, he even said that he knows how everyone's feeling. You know? And I believe that's from the sensitivity of being in such close contact. It's just you develop it. Because if you think about it, how many other, I suppose something like jiu-jitsu gives you that because you're in close contact with people a lot. Probably Wing Chun and Jiu-Jitsu are probably the arts where you have a lot of contact. Because like boxing, for example, you don't. You know, there's not that much. You're in and out, in and out, in and out. You clinch once in a while, but then you break the clinch, you know?
Clinching is a technique to...
Yeah, but it's not constant, whereas you're in constant contact in Chi Sao. I mean, like the whole time.
The rest
Yeah?
come in and break the clinch up.
Exactly. All right, so sensitivity. The next part is developing calm centeredness under pressure. So when you're practicing your sticky hands, come over here so you can see. Mel's trying to remain centered, so keep focused on me, remain centered and also stay in her highest intention, which is always calm. Why is everyone's spiritual intention or highest intention always calm? Because it aims in that direction. Yeah? It aims in that direction. Whether you're at gratitude, peace, joy, kindness, courage, acceptance, reasoning, whatever your intention is, it's aiming at calmness. Because peace and enlightenment are the top levels and they're at calm, right? So, as I'm giving pressure towards Mel, Luk Sao and Chi Sao is training her to stay centered in calm, aka the highest intention. So no matter what happens, you know, whether it's just a gentle roll or even if I'm attacking, Mel wants to train staying centered and calm in her mind regardless of what's happening. Yeah? So it's training your ability to stay present, centered and calm under pressure. Thank you.